Hello everyone, yours truly, Chrislevi13, and this year is 2020, or as some people may say, 2020, and we've got a slew of awesome games set to release this year, everything from Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, Cyberpunk 2077, Halo Infinite, hell, we've got a PS5 and an Xbox X Series X on the horizon to release towards the end of the year. But one of the most anticipated games of the entire year that people have been clamoring for ever since we heard this game was going to be remade, and that is in a long series of Final Fantasy games, each of them different. One of them that is the most near and dear to a lot of people's heart is Final Fantasy VII. You know, the game was just beautifully made on the PS1, and it's just a game that people go back today over and over and over. And since then, it's been released on countless consoles so that we can have a variety of ways to play it, you know, on your Switch, on your Xbox, on your PlayStation. But to see the remake, and when they dropped that trailer years ago on the E3, and they said, oh, we're remaking this game, that thing looks so groundbreaking that they took the formula of that, but they're making it different, using the same story but making it different, showing more of this world that you didn't get to see because of hardware limitations and all that of the PS1 and all that jazz. So today I was just chilling, you know, and I saw this article, and I wanted to break down this article and look at it with you all, you know, and because this is a game that I didn't get the special edition with like all the different stuff with it, but I am going to get a physical edition of Final Fantasy VII Remake now that I've got a PS4, and I wanted to break down this article and just look at it with you all. So sit back, relax, hopefully you enjoy the video. If you're new to the channel, do me the biggest favor, hit that subscribe button, and let's go over here to the other screen and let's look at this article and break it down. So, as we look at this right here, as I bring it up, it says Final Fantasy VII delay release date and everything you need to know. So I was looking at this article and I thought it'd be something cool to share with you all right here on the channel. We're so close yet so far because it was supposed to come out in March, but it got delayed until April, just like Marvel Avengers got delayed. Hell, a game that I was looking to get is Dying Light 2, and that got delayed indefinitely, and people are griping me about all these delays, but did they not realize that I think Animal Crossing went through today, Doom Eternal got delayed, Last of Us 2 got delayed, you know? So all this craziness about these delays is just nonsense, you know? If a game is delayed and I can still get the game within a year of what they said it was going to come out and all that jazz, I, as a consumer, am still happy, you know? Because if the game isn't delayed and it comes out, and as soon as the game comes out, they come out, oh, we got a day one patch because we know all this stuff's this, another thing. I'd rather them delay the game and not have to give those day one or a couple first week patches, you know. Hint, 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 hint. There's been other games in the past that have had that, you know, and have a more polished game at release, and all that really you have to do is maybe if there's a few bugs down the road, fix those up if people see that, and pretty much all you really got to do is give me DLC and the extra content through updates, you know, and not a whole lot you have to do, you know. But that's just me. But getting to this article, as you see right here, hopefully it looks all good. It's the first time trying this out. It says everything else. So if you scroll down there, it says, for over a decade, Final Fantasy VII Remake was an enigma. Now we're within just months of the game hitting stores. What a journey it's been. Officially announced at E3 2015. That is 5 years ago. We know a lot about Final Fantasy VII. Square Enix, the company behind the game, showed off properly for the first time at E3 2019. We've since been treated to a regular dip of replenishing trailers, but there's a lot you could say. You could say Final Fantasy VII Remake is a multi-part game because they said it was going to be episodic, you know. The installments were released separately. Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 1 hits PlayStation 4 on April 10th, 2020, because it was supposed to come out in March. Now it's coming out 2020, you know, April. The first part will be set in Midgard. The first part is supposed to be just Midgard itself. And from people like Avedon Smith and others that I know in the community that are diehard for this game, Midgard itself is so expensive. And now that we've got the technology to actually dive more into the world and in a different look at the game, you know, it's really, really awesome. The new combat systems combines the turn-based, which we know in most Final Fantasy games, with real-time that kind of started to be adopted in like the last Kingdom Hearts game, and I believe in Final Fantasy 15. If I'm wrong, down in the comment section you can correct me. We've also got the game will be significantly different from the original, including story points. It means that it's taken the original story and everything that was there and it's going to be here, but it's, I guess you could say, fleshing it out more now that we have better hardware, we have more things to be able to do, you know. And it says if you've never played the original or weren't around at the time of 1997, you may be asking, what's the big deal with Final Fantasy? Because if you weren't around, you may be asking yourself, what is the big deal? Well, Final Fantasy VII is the most famous RPG franchise. Final Fantasy is the most famous, with 7 is the most famous Final Fantasy ever, selling 11 million units according to creator Square Enix, making it the highest selling in the franchise. For reference, 2016's Final Fantasy 15, which was a huge success, stands at around 8.4. For me personally, I gotta say Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, and 10 are the cream of the crop to me. I know that the originals, 1, 2, 3, 3/6, I believe it is, 4 and 5, were all good games, you know. And I believe 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 were decent games. You know, I know 14 is the online one, and I know everybody has their give and takes. Like my friend Big Evil Gaming, Logan, he likes 8. 8's his favorite. Abaddon Smith, his favorite is 7. You know me, my favorite, like Studio Nintendo, is 9. I believe it's Studio Nintendo's is 9. Hopefully I'm saying that right, you know. Is 9, you know. I also really like 10, you know. And it's really, really awesome that each of these games are different, but they're so expansive and they're so awesome. And I love the Final Fantasy series, you know. I'm not saying I'm the most diehard fan or I know all the ins and outs, but I do enjoy the series. You know, but it says, so as you see on the screen there, it says, Final Fantasy was also a smash hit, accumulating, holding at a 9.2 rating on Metacritic. GameSpot, other sister site gives it a 9.5 upon release. It may seem crazy looking at it now, but Final Fantasy VII was a technology masterpiece in 1997. Cinematic cutscenes were modeled in full motion video, and the blocky 3D models moved around in pre-rendered environments that blew minds at the time. Yeah, I mean, at the time you had multiple discs to play Final Fantasy VII on your PS1, but to have that be able to play in the way it looked was groundbreaking. Hell, the first 7, 8, 9, 10, and even 10 were all groundbreaking. 10 on the PS2 was groundbreaking at its time, you know. And then it says, combined its technical achievements with an illusion of cast of characters, including heroes like Cloud. He's so popular, they put him in Smash. You know, you got Tifa and Venice, as well as one of game's most renowned villains, Sephiroth. Hell, Sephiroth, Baron, all them, man, cool. And Sephiroth, that's a villain right there. A deep battle system and iconic stories, easy to understand why Final Fantasy VII has engaged so much. But if you just look at this right here, man, like this right here, what they show, this is supposed to be the cover art right here, this little image right here that they're showing right there, and it looks pristine and beautiful. What Square Enix does with games is awesome. That's why they make one of my favorite franchises, Kingdom Hearts. They make awesome stuff, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, and so many other things in the RPG world. It's just like, wow. They're even making the Marvel Avengers games I mentioned for a second earlier, you know. And that game is looking, man, they're helping with that. But hopefully that game comes out decent, you know. But then, so you may ask yourself, why do people want a remake? You know, for people like me or Abaddon Smith, for people who have played through 7, why would they want a remake? People have had a thirst for Final Fantasy VII to be remade. Thanks to the efforts of Square Enix itself, the company teamed up with Sony in 2025 to give fans a huge tease at E3. When Sony was unveiling its PlayStation 3 for the first time, this technical demo was shown. So I don't know if it's gonna play the audio, but this was shown way back in the day. So you think over a decade of wanting this game, you just gotta, wow. You see that right there, and you're just like, that's on a PS3? Wow, you know? But when they're showing that as a technical demo, people were clamoring for it, because since they started to do remakes, remasters, all this different stuff, games, some of them is like oh, let's just optimize it for the new platform. But then this right here is going down into so many aspects of a game that you never thought to go into and make better. Look at Midgard. That's where the first, and that was 2005. Those Badger showed us Final Fantasy intro would look like on the PS3 when they had no intention of pulling through. You see that, and they had no intention then, but now we're right here, only a couple months away, And just if you want to think about it, they even say, what should you play before the Final Fantasy VII Remake? If you haven't played the original Final Fantasy VII yet, at this point, it's best to just wait until the remake hits March 3rd, 2020. Actually, that needs to be updated to April 10th, And then there are, however, a bunch of other Final Fantasy spin-offs there. That includes Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. I can't say that right there. Another Final Fantasy thing, as well as a film, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I've seen that film, decent film. You can skip almost all of the diggers or servers. I can't say that right, so if I'm botching it, sorry about that. Was a poorly received game set after the original, and it follows Vince, one of the two secret characters in Final Fantasy VII. That trend is cool as far as video game movies go, but it's also set after the game, so it won't make much sense. That said, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII was fantastic. It's a prequel that follows Zack Fair, who's a mentor to Final Fantasy VII protagonist Cloud. Playing it won't spoil much of Final Fantasy VII, so it's absolutely worth doing. The downside, it's only available on PSP, so yeah. Hopefully, wish they would port that otherwhere, but hey, you never know. Maybe Square Enix could say, hey, with Final Fantasy VII Remake in a little bit, we're gonna be bam, a new version of that'd be cool, But then you ask, why the delay from that to that? Well, the delay was because in order to ensure we deliver the game, as you see right there where my cursor should be at, if you see the cursor, in order to ensure that we deliver a game that is in line with our vision and the quality that our fans who have been waiting for deserve, we have decided to move the release date from April 10th, 2020. Wrote this. So for me personally, seeing a delay to make sure the game comes out better, instead of saying, hey, the game still comes at this date, it may not be as good, but we can give you, because we have internet now, we can give you some updates, a patch or something. No. We're making this tough decision in order to give ourselves a few extra weeks to apply final polish to the game, and I don't mind that. But after 15 years of waiting, or however long we've actually waited, it's awesome to see that. So I just wanted to share this little bit of article with you all. I definitely will link this article right here down in the description box below if you want to check it out. There's some other stuff on there, and it says that times are changing, and there's some other stuff about this as you go down here. New era, new story kind of stuff that shows more of this, more of the stuff you see. And when it also talks about when part 2 will come out, which I believe part 2 could come out. It could be each year. Part 1's here. They make it. They optimize part 1 to also be on the PS5, and then next year you get part 2, and you can and if you pay a little extra, you get part 1 tangled with it, and then you go on from there. How many parts will this be? I feel like it could be 3 to 4 parts in the whole thing, but that's just me. Let me know what you think down there in the description box below, because I'd really like to hear from you all, and I definitely will. Well, there's the box art right there for the remake, but I definitely will leave the link to this article in the description box below. Hopefully you all will enjoy this video and all that jazz as we go back to my regular screen, right there. And yeah, if you got any memories with Final Fantasy VII, feel free to share them with me all. This is just a video where I want to share an article that I saw on Final Fantasy with you all, and I'm definitely hyped for the remake. I know there's certain people that have said, well, we're going to take the day off, just play the game all weekend, stream the game all weekend. For me personally, I'm going to try to get a physical copy of that game as soon as I can, and probably put every other game to the side, and just for 1 week, not streaming it, just play that game, So I'll still may do streams then, but it'd probably be mostly that game outside of the streams. But Let me know what you think down below. I don't want to ramble on too much longer, but I am yours truly, Chrislevi13. Check all my links down below as well. And all that jazz. Become a patron if you want to help support the channel and all that jazz. And we're on the road to 1K subscribers here in 2020. Can we hit that mark? We'll see. We tried to last year, didn't make it. So we're going to try another year. Another push. Let's do it. Anyway, I'll see you all later. Do me this big favor all, and that is stay awesome.